Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Doug Formative. Today, I'm going to show you how you can recreate this edge of the world design. Now, I saw an image. I think I was looking for a new wallpaper to use on my cell phone, my Samsung Galaxy S8. And one of the designs was like this edge of the world. And I was wondering, like, how can you recreate that same design? And I racked my brain. I imported a photo into Inkscape and I'm working on it, and I just cannot for the life of me figure out how to create this same design where these edges match up perfectly. And after, oh my god, I would say maybe an hour or two, I finally figured out how to recreate that same type of design. So I'm going to show you exactly what I figured out so you can create your own. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an ocean view picture. You could probably use like a cityscape or something like that, or mountains or nature photo. I think you could apply this to almost any scenario, but this is one of the simpler ways that you can do this. So go ahead and open up Inkscape and follow along with me. Now, to get this picture, that's what I did. I just typed in ocean view in Google and I found this cool picture. Now, typically what works best is if you have a picture that is longer than it is tall, and I mean even more so than this. But if this is the best that you can find, and I think this is just like a typical HD image, which is going to be like a 1920 by 1080 pixel image. Let me change this to pixels. Yeah, see, it's 1920 by 1080, and that's a typical HD format that you're going to find, but I'll show you a workaround. First step, you definitely want to duplicate this image because you're going to need 2 copies of it. So go ahead and select the photo, hold Control and hit D to duplicate it. And now you want to come over here and grab your rectangles tool, and you can go ahead and turn on snapping and make sure you have snap to paths turned on, and turn on make sure you have snap cusp nodes as well. You're going to need both of those. Now, sometimes when you're working with a photo and you have one of these tools selected, it doesn't want to snap onto the edge of your photo. So one way around this is to come over here to your ruler area and just click and drag a guideline over to the edge of the photo that you're working with. I'm going to grab one from the side. I'm going to do that for the other side as well. And then I'm going to grab one for the top and the bottom. And that way we just have something to work with. And now, when you come over here to the edge, your rectangle tool will snap on to the guideline. And this is what you want. You want to click and drag a shape out. That's about that size right there. You want it to be really long compared to how tall it is. And then let's go ahead and decrease the opacity so we can see through it. And you can make some adjustments. It doesn't have to be exactly this same size, but you definitely want to make sure that it is pretty long compared to the height. And if you want to make some adjustments, you can go ahead and grab your selector tool up here. And if you want to make it a little bit taller, you can do that. Just don't go too crazy with it. And, make sure you have a good balance of ocean to sky. And now, what you want to do is go ahead and duplicate this by holding Control and hitting D while that's still selected. And figure out what your midpoint is going to be. You wanna find your halfway point to where the end of the world is going to start right here, and you're going to rotate the rest of it down. And in my experience, what I've noticed is you want to make sure that you don't have anything sticking up off the top of the water past the point where you're going to rotate it off, because it's going to look distorted. It's not going to look natural, and it's better to cut it off in an open space. So I would say right about here is where I want the edge of the world to be. So now what we want to do is, because we're going to distort this image, we're going to shift it 45 degrees. We're going to have to take our Bezier pen and come over here to our top corner here. Go ahead and click and then hold Control, and we want to drag out at 45 degrees a line that's going to connect to the bottom of this object here. Come over to this corner and then come back up to the beginning, and then hit S on the keyboard to grab your selector tool. Hold Shift, click on this orange object here, and you're going to hold Control, Shift, and hit minus on the keyboard. And now the reason that you want to do that is because when you make your shift adjustment 45 degrees, your shearing, it's going to make this line a perfectly vertical edge. So this is going to be our outside edge of the picture. And now we want to take our Bezier pen again and then figure out where we want our midway point to be. And I would say right here is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and click on the top edge of this shape, hold Control, and then go straight down, click on the bottom of this, and now we can you can let go of Control, click over here on this corner, up here to this corner, and then connect it back to your starting point. Now you want to hold or hit S on the keyboard, hold Shift, click on the orange object again, and hold Control, Shift, and hit minus on the keyboard. And what that does is that gives you this shape right here. Now I'm going to hold Control and hit Z to put that back where it was. And now if you click on this new shape you just created, hold Shift, click on the photo of the ocean. Now you want to go up to Object, Clip, and Set. And even though you can't see what you just created, if you click and drag over this new shape, and it's probably not going to let me move it. No, it's trying to select the other orange shape. If you click off to the side, click this other orange shape, you can lower it down. And now you can see what you did here. So this object right here, you cut this out of the original photo. And that's what you want. And we're going to do that one more time, but for the opposite side. So now what we want to do is, let's go ahead and grab another guideline. So come over here to the left, click and just drag another line over here and connect it to this edge. And now we're going to grab our Bezier pen again by hitting B on the keyboard, and go ahead and click on this bottom corner right here. And you should see it say handled to cusp node. So go ahead and click down there, hold Control, and just drag this out at a 45-degree angle. And you can see what angle you're at if you look down here on the bottom of the screen underneath the color palette. And you want to go ahead and connect that to the top edge of this orange object here. Connect over here to this corner and then back down to complete that object. Hold S or hit S on the keyboard. Now we want to hold Shift, click on the orange object, and we're going to go to Path, Intersection. And with this orange object still selected, we're going to hold Shift, click on this picture, and we're going to go to Object, Clip, Set. And now you should see something like this. And I know it looks weird, but there's a reason why you need these shapes to be exactly like this. So the first step, let's go ahead and click on this right object over here and click it one more time to get your rotation handles. And we're going to go ahead and hold Control, click on one of these corner arrows and just rotate it 90 degrees. And then what you want to do is you want to put this corner over here up against this bottom right corner of the other object. Now let's go ahead and click on this object, and with your rotation handles you want to select this one on the right hand side, hold Control, and you want to go 1, 2, 3. and it's going to make this adjustment. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to click and drag this to connect to this bottom corner one more time. And now click on this other object, click it one more time to get your rotation handles, and now you want to go to this upper middle shearing arrow, hold Control, and then drag it to the right. 1, 2, 3. And now you want to just hold Control, click, and just drag this over until it connects to this other object here. And that is how you can create your edge of the world design. Now, another thing that you can do, if you notice that you have this, you kind of see this white line that's going here at an angle. Now that's just, it's just a vector design flaw in the program, and this happens even if you're using like Adobe Illustrator. So one way that you can get rid of that is you can just click and drag over both of these, hold Control and hit D to duplicate it, and as you can see, it's still there, but the more you zoom in, it kind of disappears a little bit. But you can duplicate it again by holding Control and hitting D, and eventually you won't be able to see it anymore. You know, and that's just, I wouldn't really call it a glitch. It's just, you know, part of the process, and you know, there are some workarounds that allows you to get rid of that. You know, even if you're using just a simple design, whenever you have that angled straight line, Inkscape will do that on occasion. But that is it. And then you can get rid of your guidelines, and then you can use this for whatever else you want. You can add text over the top of it if you wanted to. You could put edge of the world. You know, you can do whatever you want with this. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. If you're enjoying my videos, don't forget to subscribe right here. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook so you can share it with your friends. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.